speaker, Toastmaster Bowie, I first met him in his home grounds, UNMC Toastmasters Club's venue, which is in UNMC. And the first thing that I thought to myself is that this guy is tall. Later you will find out why. Well, anyway, I had a chat with him just now and I asked him, how would you like me to introduce you? And he, without flinching and without hesitation, he just told me, you just say these 3 words: tall, fair, handsome. I will leave the judgment to you on how tall he is, how handsome he is, and how fair he is. But according to the president, he's useless, hopeless, and disastrous. So we shall see how he carries himself today in his speech. Let us put our hands together to Toastmaster Bowie with his title, Disaster. Disaster, Toastmaster Bowie.
What I'm about to tell you is based on a true story. I was back in secondary school. I was about 14 years of age. I was probably still taller than most of you, as of now. Right? I'm proud to say that I was a scout, and am still a scout. And one of the best moments in high school was my time in the Scouts movement. And there's this one camp that I remember vividly till today. I could remember every single detail. Was that there was this hiking expedition tied to this camp, whereby we were supposed to conquer this hill or the mountain. On paper, it's not that difficult. It's about 2 km in distance and about 1 km altitude, right? Like any one of us in this room can easily do it. It's called Gunung Kutu and it's in Kuala Lumpur, not too far from Fraser's Hill, you know what I mean. And then we started at about 10 a.m. in the morning and we finished at 4 a.m. the next day. Yes, it was a disaster. Toastmaster evening and my fellow friends. We all started cheerfully. There was about 40 of us in the troop. We were eager to start the journey and conquer the hill as soon as possible. However, I knew that I wasn't in the best of shape. I wasn't active in sports. Well, I played chess, and my mom basically calls me a gentle giant. But to me, when I look at that hill, and when we had our navigation sessions, it's like, it's not too difficult, not too shabby, right? And my uncle once told me that if you ever stand still, stand up straight, and you tilt your head slightly down, and if you could still see your toes over your belly, that means you're still fine, right? Not that fat, right? You have nothing to worry about. But in a group of 40 of us, there was this one kid. When he looked down, all he could see was his chubby cheeks. He couldn't even see his tummy. He was that chubby, right? Okay, let's give this boy a name, right? I'm not trying to fat shame anyone today, right? Let me give you a name, right? Let's call him D. Let's call him Dylan, alright? Let's call him Dylan. Okay, Dylan, what he did, right? So we started in the morning, and then we walked and hiked. About 2 hours into the hike, and then we heard someone screaming from the back, "Crab!" And we looked back, guess what it is? It was Dylan, right? He immediately got a scolding because you are not supposed to shout when you hike in the jungle. What you're supposed to do is that there were 40 of us in a single file. You're supposed to pass the message on to the next person, right? So you're supposed to, "Crab!" And then you whisper it onwards, right? Because we were quite superstitious. We believed there are spirits around, so we try not to disturb them. You're supposed to pass crab, and onwards. And then towards the leader at the front, he would probably heard crack or something like that, right? And then, 30 minutes later, again, another scream, "Ah! Leech!" Right? I tell you something, I was from an all-boys school, but when all of us go to the jungle, it become a mixed school, right? there's no difference between guys or girls. Like we're afraid of them. When you look at leash, they're like aliens or something like that, right? They basically call it the toll that you have to pay. Like when you use the highway, you pay toll, right? So when you hike or you go to the jungle, you need to pay toll to the leeches via the currency, which is your blood. And then, because of, in all fairness, I can't really blame Dylan, right? Dylan for all the delays that we have. Like, there were a lot of newcomers. I was 14, there were a bunch of 13 years old, and it was the first time that they were hiking. And then, because of all these delays, it accumulated so bad that when you reached the peak, it was 5 p.m. Right? We started at 10 a.m. and when you reached the peak, it was 5. You can do the math. You need at least 6 hours to go back. But the thing is, we weren't prepared for the return journey in the dark. So that was the caveat, right? And then, when you reached the peak, we were promised that there was this, I think it was a wartime sort of monument, things like that. When I reached there, it was just a rundown house. There's nothing much to see. We climbed 7 hours all the way up, and to our disappointment. But fret not, we still have to prepare for the return journey, right? And then, as we go back, it was about 7 p.m. at this moment. I can tell you something that I was dead tired. It was hot, it was humid, I was sweating all over, and I need to reiterate this, I was tired. I was basically zombified, like all the energy that my body could muster needs to be concentrated on the next step, and then the next. I just want to get back to base camp as soon as possible. But then, you could actually, like, again, I need to focus going back. Then you can actually put, like, let's say if a lady walked by, I wouldn't even notice, right? And then I remember at this point, there was this one point where it came to a slow crawl. You know, it's like traffic is like moving and not moving, right? So I basically sat on the floor, and I used my hand to move. I just basically, I let the gravity help me. I just slide down the cliff. I mean, it's not the cliff, it's like a really huge steep. It's like a slip slope, right? So I just slide down. And then I remember someone said cactus from the front. So I just kept sliding, cactus. Remember, I was zombified, right? Then like, I was sliding. And then I felt like, thank God it was a small cactus, right? But the thing is, then we reach a huge rock and we need to make a decision, whether to put out the knife or to keep moving forward. But if I was zombified, you can imagine what happened to Dylan. He's basically lying there, ready to be put into a coffin, right? But in the end, we persevered. We decided to move on, and we have to reach base camp by midnight, right? And then, I do not know how we miraculously mastered all the energy, and we decided to walk back. I think at about 2 a.m., the indigenous people, or Orang Aslis, so-called, our scouters asked them to come. They actually came to help us and guide us home. And then, safe to say that, I'm standing here today. At about 4 a.m. we reached base camp. That was one of the most horrendous experiences I've ever faced. I remember when I reached base camp, when I started cleaning myself, I noticed the whole bottom part of my pants were ruined. There was like a big hole over there. No wonder it felt so breezy on the way back. Alright, so then, one thing if I could say that I learned from this lesson is that when you go to hikes, don't bring such a big group, right? And then the second thing is try and get fit. When you look down, at least when you tuck in your tummy, you need to see your toes, right? And to all, I'm looking at all of you are still carrying your Chinese New Year holiday weight, yeah? And last but not least, don't name your kid Dylan. Right, back to you.